According to the girl,
this nigga got a bag. He need to start leaving his phone in the car.
You not supposed to bring your phone at all.
That was fucked up. They should have just left the phone. They already hit the floor. Fuck it. Now y'all done put yourself in deeper doo-doo. Because that means y'all was here when this happened. Dog, that whole legacy you built just by telling that shit over with. And then I know you gotta go and think about all the sacrifices you did for your hood.
Cdai allegedly left his phone in the getaway van on the 051 Fats hit. Not to mention...
Look at a clown. That's why his ass where he is. Alright, Lil Mark. I'm glad you wasn't trash, because I definitely
King
was.
Von's sister would announce from his Twitter
What
account
the
on February
fuck?
2014 that
Wait a minute. Hold on. We just met Lil Mark, and now we saying goodbye.
Well, dead at the bus stop just like Tuka. A tweet that's even more disrespectful when you learn that Lil Mark was actually Tuka's older brother. D-Rose would also tweet the day after the murder.
Alright, we got CHIRAQ history.
CHIRAQ.
Episode 7.
We back. We are back, CHIRAQ. Y'all missed us. Huh?
Episode 7, man.
Damn, we did 7 already? And a lineup to go.
And we're going to start off with your favorite, RondoNumbaNine, after he shaved his mohawk.
Not the mohawk.
Or faux hawk, whatever that shit was called. Go Crazy featuring Cdai.
Free the drum.
Only gang members allowed, man. It's allowed, man. Only go crazy. Gang. Turn up, bitch. Turn up, bitch. Go crazy for the squad. I gotta go crazy. I gotta go crazy. I gotta go crazy. Go crazy for the squad. Crazy, crazy. I gotta go crazy. Go crazy. I go crazy for my squad. I go crazy for my gang. For my gang. The gang. The bitch be going hard. Six shotters do I say. And never see it all. Over blood and it's bright. 600 to O'Block. 600 to O'Block. Let's jump. We
Oh, I used to hate them cigarettes.
every day I do my thing. Everything shit, I want my fucking shit. Right now, if I catch her, I'm lacking.
Yo, he look fried, man. If you peep how he looking at the camera.
I know he go if I let my leggings. He had to do this on in 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes.
What you mean, love? We do our thing, bitch. We do our thing, bitch. Double load the team, bitch. Go crazy for the squad.
That was the beat that back then. Damn, he only did what, 4 bars in his verse? That was like 4 bars. Not even.
Go crazy for the I go crazy for my squad. I go crazy for my gang. Bitch, we going hard. 600 do I think. Let's go. And never see it all. Bubble blood and it's bright. 600 to O'Block. Say I'm rolling off this pill. If I catch him, it's a drill. When I catch him, he get killed. If I get caught, I cannot squeal.
I feel like we had doing it so long. I lost the lore.
I forgot who's what and where and where.
Smoking Tuka out the sin. I swear you don't know how I feel. I'm out the shit. I'm in my fucking glove. Double G's on my loafs. If this nigga try to try me, he get smoked. Cock to fall back and let it blow. Now he dead and his body on the floor. Now we gone and we won up with a skull. Go crazy for the squad. Go crazy for the gang. Go crazy for the squad.
I know they were yelling. When this shit come on, they all yelling.
I go crazy for my squad.
I go crazy for the gang.
Bitch, we going hard. 600 do our thing. Let's go. And if I see it,
The hook is longer than the verses. The hook by 8 bars, the verse is 4.
Prince Dre,
That was a lot
brothers.
of yelling in that track.
You remember, this is the aftermath of LA passing, so.
Yeah.
This Prince Dre.
Oh, I remember him. He had that song that was like about getting money or some shit.
I ain't got friends. What you got? I got brothers. Huh? I do this shit for my brothers. Old block don't be my brothers. Why the fuck they take my brothers? Ain't that nigga like my brothers? Old block, it ain't no.
That's when this beat used to be the shit. Everybody wanted these beats. He was hard though.
In a cup pop out, they run. Them bro boys ain't know nothing. Mom ass ain't chase no commas. They say old black got no mana. They must not know J Mana. In a cup with a scrap, I'm toting. Eyes right through, bitch, I'm blowing. Check the count, pussy nigga, we scoring. Real like true story, no joking. Saying I be dead, they joking. Tell the clown ass nigga stop joking. On the guys, hit stain, let's poke them. Bullet frown, lean bait, we toast them. Crowd pussy ass nigga like an IV. On the drive with bros where I be. Keystone on my hip like OD. 230s on me, rip OD. In the game way lurking, I'm low key. Short goofy ass nigga, no mercy. 100 shots in the top, 50 rounds in the back, couple holes in his head, couple holes in the back.
I ain't gonna lie, he was one of the ones that was sliding for me.
Got my brothers on the back. You can never say so. Yeah, my brothers taught me that. You only live once, yeah, my brothers taught me that. Big city block head says for where we at. To the top where we had it, got my brothers on the back. You can never say so. Yeah, my brothers taught me that. You only live once, yeah, my brothers taught me that. I do this shit for my brothers. Old block don't be my brothers. Why the fuck they take my brothers?
Like his shit is bumpy, yo.
Old block, it ain't no others. RP and free my brothers. I trust and love my brothers. Can't hold a grudge, my brothers. I do this shit for my brothers. Old block don't be my brothers.
I can't believe we used to watch videos like this and thought that shit was lit.
What you mean?
Like to see the quality of the videos now versus then. We really thought like, oh shit, this shit lit.
Tay 600 featuring Cdai gang.
I barely hear Tay 600 rap.
That's why it's gonna be for you.
I didn't even know he rapped like that.
Six hundred. Steve Strap.
22, what up, bro? 22, what up, bro?
What up, bro? What you on, bro? Squad.
You fucking with the gang, I shoot your brain. He say he BDK so fucking sane. These bitches wanna fuck just cause I name. I'm D-Block nigga and that is the team. It's been a lot of problems since the fame. But I know that's just what comes with the game. My niggas, they won't change. This change won't make us different, we the same. I'm on Calumet, posted with the 40. Been doing shit like that since we was shorties. I don't need no fucking bets, I got my 40. So when you see me on the mat, I don't got no worries. Smoking on that JoJo or that Tuka. Riding in that photo with bro Buka. If he got me, he get smoked just like a hookah.
He don't sound bad though. He sound like he done did a whole bunch of songs.
I don't know. It's just dub it.
It is.
We go and wet them up just like it's raining. I'm from Steve Drive, D-Block, Steve Drive. Let's nigga crack the trays, gas shot 3 times. My niggas blowing K's non-stop, keep fast. 223's hit his face, man down, he down. Yeah, you claim you want war, nigga. Catch you lacking at that
I don't know why every time I do these documentaries to Chicago, I feel like I'm in there with them, bro. That shit be weird.
What you mean?
I don't know. I feel like I'm from Chicago when I'm watching this, though. Like, I fuck with them so heavy. It's like watching the whole story feel like, damn, what if I was in that timeline with them? What the hell would I have been doing? Especially my hot-head ass being young. I would have been past 600.
Bruh. You would have had smoke.
Huh?
You would have had smokes with FBG Duck.
I would have had what?
You would have had smokes with FBG Duck in them.
Man.
And Key Lil J.
I would have been in the middle. I would have been the one where you
in the middle?
You see
that's how you die.
No, listen. When I say in the middle is, you remember how Keith Vaughn was doing that girl?
What? His sister?
No, man. The girl that got shot. The one, what's her name? The one that was with Butter. And she got K.I. You see how he was on this side, but he'll flirt with her a little bit. Like,
he
come over
wasn't
here.
flirting with her for real?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I probably would have been in the middle. Niggas would have been trying to get at me, but I'm on this side. I'm like, yeah, come on this side. Nah, come over here. Get a nigga fucked up.
Super slime, mom.
Damn.
With that ace, knock his fucking teeth up off his face. I wouldn't ride for bitch, no ain't got no man, Bitch up Cdai 22, I do my thing. Oh 60, bitch that be the gang.
Is that his rap flow?
You can get it if you want it, I'm just saying. Got this chopper in the K, get the spraying. Niggas already know how we fucking do it, bitch. Shorty pull up on your ass, ask your ass what's to you, bitch. Shorty got that 40, point that bitch at your medulla, bitch. Rollie on my wrist, it got me icy like a cooler kid. We do this shit, we do this shit. Shorty hit your noodle, knock the sauce up out your noodles quick.
Damn.
You stupid bitch.
You heard what he said? 40 hit the noodles, not the... Damn, what he said? He said 40 hit the noodles at the sauce at... 40 hit the noodle at the sauce up out your noodle quick. That's hard. I ain't gonna lie. That's fucked up. The best part about the noodles is the sauce. Mm-hmm. If I lose my sauce, then it's the point in the noodles. That was crazy. I ain't gonna lie, that was the hardest bar I heard from Cdai. Shorty hit you in the noodle, knock the sauce up out your noodles quick. Some shit, that shit hard. That was nice.
The disappointing downfall of
After the
RondoNumbaNine.
death of L.A. Capone, 600 members would be devastated, but ultimately nothing would stop the gang's activities in the streets. While the murders they were committing were grabbing headlines, the music they were releasing was racking up YouTube views, and soon members would wind up getting more attention than they bargained for. RondoNumbaNine had gained a reputation as a violent loose cannon off the back of his drill songs with L.A. Capone. He'd also collaborated with Lil Durk and DJ Victorious on the track We Don't F Around, a song which featured Rondo and Durk referencing the loyalties between their crews OTF, 600, O-Block, and 300. Rondo had also dropped one of his biggest hits, a remix to the P. Rico song Hang With Me, which was notable for its extensive disses aimed at Tuka, the 15-year-old GD who was killed in 2011, as well as shouting out infamous O-Block shooter T-Roy and claiming that they go on drills together. Rondo was picking up steam in the rap game, and he went on to release a string of anthems.
Why are you looking at the most random stuff?
It was in your face. You didn't see it?
I seen it, but it did like
I'm
not paying attention to his nails.
He Rico
that shit was
in my face.
That shit looked disgusting.
How?
Tuka, the
I don't know.
15-year-old GD
He looked like he bite him.
2011,
Yeah,
as well as
look. Ew.
Oh, snap.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that nigga could. I ain't even gonna say what I was finna say. Them bitches can't go nowhere inside. That's all
Cutting
I'm
out
saying.
infamous O-Block shooter T-Roy claiming that they go on drills
That
together.
shit
Rondo was
nasty,
picking
bro.
up steam in the rap game, and he went on to release a string of anthems after LA's murder, in many ways picking up the torch of 600's most buzzing rapper from his fallen friend. One infamous track was the disturbingly titled song Taliban, where he appeared to compare his gang activity on the streets to that of the major terrorist organization. Released on October the 7th, 2013, the song would also include pointed disses at dead ops like Fathead, and the video featured menacing scenes where 600 members would dance around with an array of high-powered weapons, including one particularly terrifying MAC-10 submachine gun. This gun would feature prominently in many videos and pictures associated with 600 members, and it became infamous amongst fans, being referred to as the 600 Mac. This would eventually cause fans to make compilations of all the times this infamous gun was actually present in 600's music videos and social media posts. Take Capone would mention the Mac in a live stream where he claimed that he got the gun in 2012 and that people were still showing it off in 2017 when he got out of jail, and claiming that the gang had put in maximum work on their ops with this gun.
Man, that shouldn't work now. That got dropped off to me in my hands, and then that was in 2012 or 13, and I seen 4 of them still toting that 2017 when I got out the joint. Some guns you gotta just let go, bro, especially when we already had put in a maximum amount of work with that.
Things like this were making 600 infamous, and the hype would continue as Rondo and other members would continue to release high-profile songs, like his November the 26th collab with Lil Durk, Ride. However, at the end of 2013, it would be more than music that had Rondo's face going viral in Chicago, as in December 2013, Rondo would post a photo on his Instagram that would become one of the most legendary images in Chicago drill history. In the photo, Rondo can be seen holding up an anti-tank rocket launcher, or as fans would refer to it, an RPG, rocket-propelled grenade launcher. This is like a weapon straight out of Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto, and something a lot more at home in a real war zone like Iraq or Afghanistan.
The one they use in the military?
Yeah, it's a rocket launcher.
Yeah, the one that has the big hole that...
With something like this, truly making sense of the fact why they call Chicago CHIRAQ. The photo itself would go viral on social media, reinforcing the image of 600 members as real savages who practiced what they preached and really waged war in the streets. However, it also caused a major alert for the local police department, and an investigation would be carried out immediately after, as a literal wanted poster would circulate among Chicago police gang units, explaining that they believed that rocket launchers were actually circulating among Chicago gang members, posing a genuine danger to the public, with pictures of the weapon and Rondo's own mugshot displayed prominently in a wanted style poster that went around. In the aftermath of this incident, the photo itself was swiftly removed from Rondo's Instagram, but by then it was too late. And while the image was going viral, Rondo would tweet an angry message where he would deny the weapon or the photo was even real. But luckily for Rondo, it would appear that the investigation was closed with no leads or arrests regarding that specific weapon. But later, in an unreleased snippet from his Instagram, Rondo would even mention that his house was actually searched or visited by federal investigators following this incident. And the next year, Rondo would reference the situation in his song Trust Myself, where he claimed that the incident actually brought him a lot of publicity. This would become an infamous moment in Chicago drill, with many viral videos being made about the situation, garnering millions of views. Years later, Mimo600 would pay homage to Rondo, posing with an RPG in a gun store himself. And media antics such as these not only contributed to the image of 600 as one of the most savage sets in Chicago, but it also enforced the image of Chicago as a real war zone. Coming into the turn of the year, the hype around the Chicago drill scene was reaching its peak, and at the time, the term CHIRAQ was being used heavily in the media, as the media was creating narratives about the violent death toll in Chicago being higher than the amount of US soldier deaths in the military conflicts in places like Afghanistan and Iraq. However, in fairness, as many news outlets would also point out, such hyperbolic headlines were actually largely distorting the reality on the ground. The point that they were making was that Chicago was in fact only the deadliest city in America in total homicides, but in per capita terms, it didn't even make the top 10 most violent cities. Therefore, the implication appeared to be that the violence in Chicago was slightly overblown if you were looking at it on a per capita basis. But that just goes to show you how powerful the antics of drill rappers were during this time. The symbolic shock of seeing a drill rapper toting an RPG straight out of the US military arsenal was hard to ignore, and it had the whole of America terrified of Chicago's streets. However, make no mistakes, whilst other cities were indeed deadlier than Chicago on a per capita basis, certain areas of Chicago, like the south side where 600 reside, and the more violent but less infamous west side of the city, were in fact still setting records for concentrated violence. And while the year of 2014 would actually turn out to be the safest in decades in the wider Chicago, in the neighborhoods around Washington Park, the war would reach a new boiling point. So even if you didn't think the city of Chicago was anything like Iraq, the boys from 600 were living in a true CHIRAQ war zone, and the savages that ran the streets there were becoming increasingly violent as well as famous. In 2014, we would see things reach breaking point for 600, as some of their most famous and violent members would be hell-bent on waging war on their ops. Unfortunately for them, this time the authorities wouldn't be far behind, and for members like Rondo and Cdai, a small mistake would ultimately wind up seeing them losing everything in an instant. On the night of February the 21st, 600 members Rondo, real name Clint Massey, Cdai, real name Courtney Ely, Tay600, real name Jamonte Carpenter, and Lil Boo, real name Jerome Anderson, were at a party in an area called Murder Town. The party was located at 39th Street and Wentworth in the Wentworth Gardens housing project, which was actually once considered to be the best public housing project in Chicago before the gangs took it over. As seen in the image taken on the night of the party, Rondo was actually wearing a very loud and easily identifiable tracksuit in a bright orange and black camouflage print. And in that photo, Rondo can actually be seen with a group of girls, some of whom were part of a female-led rap group called Pretty and Pink. Pretty and Pink were making a name for themselves in the early drill scene, releasing several songs and music videos.
Bro, they doing the same thing.
Making a name for themselves in the early drill scene, releasing several songs and music videos, most of them filmed by the drill legend DJ Ken. This group would even get shout-outs from Chief Keef, and in their music videos and on their social media, they could often be seen hanging out with members of the Big D sets around the Washington Park and Woodlawn areas, particularly 600 and O Block. Some of them can also be seen making cameos in 600's music videos, such as 600 Part 2, and in their songs, they would even claim 600. On their social media, Pretty and Pink and 600 would use moniker P&P 600, and seemingly these girls quite literally identified as members of the 600 gang themselves.
Smoking, doink. See that ass, sleepy fool.
Yeah. Don't make me come kill you for my little sister. I'll kill you on phone number.
This group included girls like Hannah, who was one of the main rappers of the group, even making tracks with Chief Keef. She also made music under the artist name Big Pink, and in recent years under the artist name Han Win. The other main rappers were Marie, who at the time rapped under the name Marie Ballout, but has since released music under the new artist name Big Pink Riri, as well as Shady, whose song Go In was a hit in Chicago in 2011, with the music video standing now at over 1.5 million views. This music video would also end up launching the career of Katie Got Bands, who makes a cameo in the video toting a tiny handgun. And then there's Amia, aka Lil Pink, who's actually D-Rose's sister, and Ray Ray, who was seemingly GBE Capo's girlfriend before his untimely passing in 2015, as well as many others. However, many of the members of Pretty and Pink were not from 600's hood, but were actually from the Murder Town area where this party was being held. Moreover, they certainly weren't the only girls who had been spending time with 600. According to court documents, on the night of February the 21st, 2014, 600 members would end up spending time with 3 other girls who were from the 600 neighborhood. At some point, Rondo and Cdai would leave the party with one of the girls in her van. Meanwhile, one or both of the girls still in the party would allegedly get into an argument with the members of Pretty and Pink, supposedly about a song that was being played. Perhaps this song was a Pretty and Pink song and they weren't fans, but during the argument, someone would shoot a gun in the air to try and stop the commotion. Now, the remaining 600 members, Tay and Lil Boo, would then leave the party with 2 girls, as well as Tay, who would allegedly make a call to Cdai telling him what had just happened at the party. However, Tay would later deny making this call.
These said that I called for them down there, bro. They say I called for them down there and had that happen, which was a lie. That's why the that said it, when she got on the stand, they locked her ass up for perjury. When she got up there and lied, locked her up for perjury. Mimo and them sister. Let's not forget that.
But soon after, they met Cdai, Rondo, and the third girl at a local Wendy's restaurant and headed back to Wentworth Gardens with a plan of carrying out a get-back attack on whoever had fired those shots. Documents would show that D-Rose was also present at this time and got into the same car as Rondo and Cdai. At this time, a man named Javon Boyd was waiting around the Wentworth Gardens area in his car as he had been dispatched for a job on his shift as a taxi driver. The car itself had no company livery or any indication that it was being used as a taxi at the time, so to the average person, this just looked like a normal car. The 3 vehicles carrying 600 members would make their way to 38th Street on Princeton Avenue, and here they spotted the idle car and noticed a man inside. The convoy then made a U-turn, and Rondo and Cdai would exit the vehicle and approach Boyd. Witnesses would then claim that they saw Cdai and Rondo open Javon's passenger side door and fire into the vehicle 4 or 5 times. They would then return to their car and leave the scene. However, unbeknownst to them, they had just made a grave error in touching Boyd's car with their bare hands, where police would later find Cdai's fingerprints. And to make matters worse for Cdai, he had also, once again, dropped his phone at the crime scene, this now being the second time that had happened. According to the girl...
This nigga got a bag. He needs to start leaving his phone in the car.
You're not supposed to bring your phone at all.
Yeah, for the GPS.
This was something that
This kid
Cdai would even
hurts.
tell them, seemingly in the process also implying that he had indeed taken part in the murder of Fathead, during which he had previously left his phone in the van that was used in the murder. Cdai would then return to the scene with two of the girls, and once they would see that the scene had already been taken over by police, Cdai would then send one of the girls to try and retrieve the phone by talking to the cops and claiming that it belonged to her. This would turn out to be yet another grave mistake, as that girl would then proceed to give a false story about what had happened, as well as her real last name and real phone number. The police would also record the license plate number of her car, and this encounter between the girl and the police would begin their efforts to locate her, which they would eventually succeed in, making her the first of 3 girls who would begin opening up to the police about the events of that night. Clearly the shooting was not pre-planned, and was ultimately carried out in such a
How you feel about that?
That was fucked up. They should have just left the phone. They already hit the flow. Fuck it. Now y'all done put yourself in deeper doo-doo, because that means y'all was here when this happened.
sloppy fashion that it almost
I
seems
was
as
like,
if the
hell nah,
culprits didn't
fuck your
care if
phone,
they
we'll
got
get a
caught.
new
And to
one.
make matters even worse, the whole ordeal was caught on surveillance cameras.
Wait,
and due to the brashly coloured
They was
clothing
in
the
their
pair was wearing-
car. They was in their car when they pulled back up to the scene, right?
Who car?
One of the girls of the people car
Yeah.
when they came back to get the phone.
Yeah.
So that is so dumb. Nigga, y'all already came and did the murder in the
They
car.
wasn't supposed to they wasn't supposed to say they know what happened. But
They
she
wasn't
probably
supposed to come
she
back.
probably was like she had her phone and then they started shooting, so she ran. That's probably what she tried to do.
Even if you
She
say
did
that,
her
that
fake.
means you seen what happened. You seen people pull out the
You're
car,
a
you seen the
witness.
story. And then they go back and track your car after they do surveillance and be like, oh, hold on. You was the
Eric
car
made
that
them
pulled
very
up
easy to be
before it even
identified on the
happened.
recording. One of the girls would later tell investigators that Cdai had questioned the driver as to where he was from, and unfortunately Javon Boyd was actually from this neighborhood. However, according to Javon Boyd's family, while he'd been in trouble with the law when he was younger, he was not gang affiliated, but simply just an honest man working 2 jobs, trying to make ends meet. By simply telling the truth that he was from that neighborhood that day, Javon Boyd had unknowingly sealed his fate, and by killing Javon in cold blood on the spot, just because of where he was from, Rondo and Cdai had also sealed theirs. Eventually,
That
on the
was
7th
dumb.
of March 2014, RondoNumbaNine would be arrested, and soon after, charged with the murder, followed by Cdai about a week later, with Cdai receiving no chance at bail due to his prior cases, while Rondo's bail was set at a whopping $2 million. And despite his now rich and famous friends like Lil Durk and Chief Keef, as well as Fredo Santana, Rondo would ultimately end up waiting for trial behind bars too. Following Rondo's arrest, DJ Academics, who was making a name for himself with his War in CHIRAQ YouTube series, would clown on
This
Rondo
nigga.
by going through a number of seemingly self-incriminating tweets that Rondo had
Like
put
a
out
predator in
immediately
this bitch.
following this murder.
God damn it, I know this kid's only 17, but how dumb could you be? Now I gotta apologize in advance because I can't read this nonsense that these dudes are typing, all this bad hood vernacular. I can't really pronounce all this, but I'm gonna give it my best effort to enunciate some of this. I hate to be one of Rondo's number 9's associates on that day because he's tweeting everybody and everything, and he's probably incriminating them too. He tweeted a bunch at Lil Durk, and I'm guessing probably or hopefully Lil Durk wasn't involved, but he's tweeting him so much the cop probably has to investigate Lil Durk as well. He tweets out, "Don't sneak diss us or we will come and kill you." God damn it, getting a high off that gun smoke. God damn it. If this is the new stupidity level that's going on in these streets, I just
Like,
stay my
God
ass
damn it.
in the house.
Meanwhile, the police investigation would find that the phone left behind by Cdai was damaged as it had been run over by a vehicle, but moreover, the phone had been remotely wiped, meaning that if Cdai had just realized this possibility earlier and not sent one of the girls on a dummy mission to try and retrieve the phone from the crime scene, that
He
girl
would've
may
been
not have been
cool.
identified and then captured by police, eventually turning to the witness that began the whole process of bringing down both Cdai and Rondo. The police would also identify Cdai and Rondo's gang affiliations, as well as their music careers by listening to their songs on YouTube, and they would even realize that Rondo had actually worn the same outfit he committed the murder in a music video uploaded to YouTube just a week before the crime. However, the case would soon take a turn that would end up almost breaking the whole of 600 apart, as rumors would soon begin to spread.
See,
about
now it's starting to make sense when they say when you get an outfit, wear it once and throw it away. Shit like this. Don't wear it again. Throw that bitch away. Give it to somebody else. Donate it. Now it's making sense.
somebody snitching in this case. Soon after Rondo and Cdai were brought into custody, the legendary Chicago scene news site College Kid would post an article about Lil Reese denying online rumors that Rondo or Cdai were snitching. However, soon the rumors would begin circulating around another member, K600. Although at this point the fans weren't aware that Tay had allegedly been at the scene of the crime with Rondo and Cdai, one of the first to accuse Tay of snitching would be OJ from the 600 affiliated Lamron set, who in 2014 would send numerous shots from his now deleted Twitter account. Interestingly, OJ himself would receive snitching allegations years later when paperwork concerning the murder of Fathead would come out, with OJ being ironically accused of snitching on Cdai in that case too. But then, in June 2015, things began escalating quickly, as Cdai sent a cryptic tweet suggesting that somebody was no longer part of 600 due to them snitching, which the fans would quickly decipher was referring to Tay 600, who would respond by vehemently denying allegations and seemingly dissing Cdai directly. Soon, other 600 members would chime in, with some seemingly staying neutral, while others like Boss Moo and 600 Breezy would engage in Twitter beefs with Tay. Although at this point Breezy would still say that he hadn't seen any paperwork on Tay, meanwhile, the CHIRAQ scorekeeper himself, the infamous Mubu Crump, would also weigh in on the matter, claiming that it was in fact Cdai who was snitching on Rondo.
And according to the CHIRAQ scorekeeper Crump, he said this. He said, Cdai telling on
The
Rondo.
CHIRAQ scorekeeper?
That means he know
You know
everybody.
everything.
Yeah, he know.
I
That's who
hope
they
he
might
get out that jam. I ain't with the snitching. Rondo was always cool and respectful. Now, let's be clear. We're talking about the guy who's a domestic, the guy, the only savage to brand a weapon of mass destruction. Crump is claiming Rondo snitching.
Then, in 2016, things would really begin to heat up. In March, it was reported that the trial of Rondo and Cdai was being delayed due to an uncooperative witness, and rumors would then start to spread that one of these witnesses was Tay himself, who instead of cooperating, had actually gone on the run, with US Marshals being deployed to locate Tay, eventually finding him with an illegal weapon. However, once again, information about his arrest would come out sparsely. Meanwhile, Rondo and Cdai's trial would move ahead, and on the 11th of March, it was reported that both had been found guilty and were facing 45 years to life, with 600 Breezy, who had apparently been at the court tweeting the bad news, while other members like Just Blow and Esdot would
That's
react,
why they in jail
naturally
for
being
that murder right
devastated
there?
at this loss. An emotional 600 Breezy would also air out his
45 to
grievances on
life,
Twitter.
bro. That's already, to me, I don't know.
I'm
That's already
saying,
life.
was that murder right there that they committed is the reason why they in jail now? Like still?
I think so.
Since they, damn.
With Tay 600, calling him a snitch and blaming him for the outcome. At this point, pretty much everybody in or close to 600, including people like Lil Durk and Lil Reese, would begin to attack Tay for snitching.
I don't know what Tay 600 snitching. I don't know about his snitch ass. I don't hang with him. Them not my homies.
However, Tay, who was still locked up at this point, would once again come out and firmly deny any snitching allegations. In April, the Chicago drill vlogger legend Zach TV would post a clip of a jail phone interview with Tay, together with an explosive description of what Tay had allegedly told him during their full conversation, although the clip itself would provide very little new information, besides Tay claiming that people were hating on him because he had been intimate with their girlfriends.
But I'm in this cooler, bro. I'm deep down the cooler. I'm just, man, I'm anxious. Right back out to the streets. I'm missing a lot of money, a lot of moves, a lot of food being fed. I need to hurry up, get out of the dress, clean this BD. And this time, I'm dropping all the juice. I'm going to go back to what man to be from 2013 and 2014 when I was my baby mama.
But then in May, Cdai finally was sentenced, receiving a whopping 38 years. This was followed by the sentencing of Rondo in July, who would receive 39 years, just one more than Cdai. In August, DJ Academics would report that Tay, on the other hand, had received a 30-month sentence for a gun he was caught with when he was arrested earlier that year. Also in August, Say Cheese would drop their interview with 600 Breezy, who would explain that he had seen the paperwork and that Tay had given a statement to the police, although he ultimately hadn't ended up testifying against Rondo and Cdai during the trial.
A lot of people, you know, they're accusing Tay 600 to running his mouth, but there hasn't been no paperwork for it, right? Has there been paperwork seen, or is it just like a assumption?
Now this the thing with cases like that, bro. I ain't gonna be on stick on it too much. You feel me? Like that paperwork don't be public, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? When it's some serious like that, only certain eyes can see that paperwork. But we seen it. Everybody from this block seen it. If we went to that courtroom, that lawyer let us see it, bro. So we just not gonna lie on nobody, bro. Feel me? And we love this shorty, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was out here with this we ain't never thought, bro. You know what I'm saying? I told him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I talked to him one time after this, you know what I'm saying? I just told him, like, you feel me? I feel like he just made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have done nothing like that. But that pressure got on him, and he felt like nobody was gonna know what was said in that interrogation room. But he ain't touched that stand. You know, he ain't touched that stand, bro. He wasn't finna do that, bro. He didn't think it was gonna have to go that far. But that's misfortunate, bro.
Cdai would also give an interview to Say Cheese, confirming that Tay was no longer in 600.
Now, a lot of your fans wanted me to ask you about, you know, Tay 600. That whole situation.
The Tay 600, man, yeah, you already know, man. He ain't right, man. Told, man, you know. You told on, bro, no. Something ain't right, it ain't right. You know how it be, you know what I'm saying?
Your fans want to know, like, is he still 600 or is it like...
hell no.
Okay.
Dead.
So he's no longer around, he can't come around here? No.
At this point, fans were looking for any
Dog,
kind of
that
proof
whole
as to what
legacy
had
you
actually happened.
built just by telling that shit over with. And then I know you gotta go and think about all the sacrifices you did for your hood. And they done put your ass out, Tay.
Right then, a bombshell will drop and go viral as an alleged statement given by Tay was dropped online, seemingly showing that Tay had indeed snitched on his friends. However, this statement would turn out to be completely false, as Tay would explain to Say Cheese in December, at this point already being a free man once again, having already gotten an early release.
Let's talk about this statement.
See, my thing was about that statement is, you feel me, be so dumb and stupid. You stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything, man. For one, that ain't have a paper. Look, my daddy just did 10 years in a federal prison and like 10 told him. I was a shorty, we had the paperwork that was about this thick, man. They let you know who said what and what said what, and it wasn't in pen like that fake ass that you just wrote me. And then for two, they got my birthday wrong on there. They say I was being held on 26 in California when I was doing the investigation. That's the address to the Cook County Jail. That's not the address to a police station, which where I wasn't at, you feel me? Then, like, okay, if I'm gonna tell on someone, I guess I ain't at the time I would tell the truth. I didn't know none of them when I was 4 years old. Courtney first, you feel me? And I didn't even meet him till I was a teenager. Me and Rondo, I met Rondo later on, and we was going to grammar school together, but I never went to I never went to grammar school with Cdai. I only went to grammar school with Rondo, and that was about a year because I graduated before then. Then, I never went to high school with Cdai or Rondo. We ended up all going to the alternative school for probably, I think Cdai got kicked out like the first day I got him in there, he get kicked out. Me and Rondo, we was in there, but you know, he ended up stopped going too, and I dropped out too, so it was like we weren't even in school together. Yeah. So this don't make no sense.
Coming into 2017, the narrative was turning in Tay's favour, as reports about the released court documents not including any proof of Tay snitching would begin to spread. In March, Tay would drop a song called The Truth, where he rapped about the case, saying how people calling him a rat had never seen him in the papers, as well as saying that 600 was still cool with the women who had testified in the court against Rondo and Cdai. Also in March, Vlad TV would post a clip from their interview with Tay, where he would explain what had happened with the case, saying how police had told him that they knew he had been present during the murder and tried to intimidate him to tell more, but he didn't budge, explaining that he wasn't scared because there wasn't any proof that he had been there other than some witness statements.
The simple fact, they can't prove that I witnessed anything. I know this, you feel me? They can't prove nothing like that because of the simple fact of I'm not on camera doing nothing. You know, it might be people identifying me saying that I saw it or I was at the scene or whatever, but you know, that's my word against theirs, you feel me? That ain't nothing that they could automatically just put perjury on, you feel me? Like, that's something that I had to have a trial within itself, you feel me? So I wasn't really worried about nothing like that. They didn't threaten me with perjury right in the investigation room though.
Tay would also accuse 600 Breezy of lying about seeing any paperwork about him.
They was there, and my people told me they never seen Breezy, you feel me? And so if he came now, he came and briefly left. Like, he didn't even stay long enough to see a lot of things unfold in the trial, you feel what I'm saying?
But even Fredo Santana would tweet saying that Tay didn't snitch. In August, it was even reported that Rondo himself was denying that Tay snitched in his new jail phone freestyle, which Tay would take as yet another victory. During 2018, things were seemingly beginning to calm down, with Tay even releasing part of a call between him and 600 Breezy, who was locked up at the time, where they would chop it up about the past and hashing out their differences. But under the surface, there was a lot of tension, and the relationship between Tay and the rest of 600 seemingly wouldn't be amended.
Well, I did clear that up. He is lying. You gonna listen to talk. I've never had anything taken from me. This is something that y'all need to know. I'm clarifying this now. I have never had anything taken from me, man. Nothing. They be putting false in the air and be having asking me about false ass information. Like, what the be wrong with these? What the be wrong with the fans for even believing these stupid ass little boys? Like, never been a Kamiko on his watch me. She know who the real gang members is from our block, cause she used to come over there to see me and Matt. And who you used to see in my crib, them members on gang, just members. If you seen them in my crib, they was them members. Other than that, I was putting their ass out. I used to put the cop on them on my crib, boy. I used to put dust on them on my crib, boy. Get the out, y'all ass could go outside and get killed. I don't give a get out of here.
In 2019, things would go.
Y'all ass could go outside.
You say go outside, get killed.
Get out of here.
In 2019, things would go from bad to worse for Rondo and Cdai, as both would lose their appeals, thus affirming their sentences of 38 and 39 years. Rondo would also get mad at Vlad TV for reporting how his legal team had attempted to pursue a new trial based on the fact that his previous legal team should have more vigorously argued for the theory that Cdai was the sole shooter. Rondo's anger would then turn to Tay, calling him a snitch and a rat. Rondo would continue in a jail phone call recorded by a friend. Would then turn to Tay, calling him a snitch and a rat. Rondo would continue in a jail phone call recorded by a
they was calling him a snitch. They start reversing it. Now they coming back and call him a snitch again?
Well, it sound like they saying Rondo called him a snitch because shit wasn't going in his
But
face.
they just said he did a freestyle that he did snitch.
Yeah, what I'm saying is some shit he said. Remember he said that Rondo was getting mad at his something because it got worse or whatever. So I guess he got mad. Like, well, go back a little bit. It's almost like he get mad, so it's like fuck everybody.
Now,
Yeah,
his
you
legal
snitching.
team had
Fuck
attempted
you.
to
Fuck.
pursue a new trial based on the fact that his previous legal team should have more vigorously argued for the theory that Cdai was the sole shooter. Rondo's anger would then turn to Tay, calling him a snitch and a rat. Rondo would continue in a jail phone call recorded by a friend where he claimed that one of the eyewitnesses that had been tracked down was Jamonte Carpenter, Tay's government name.
Who the was a witness with them? I bet they say Jamonte Carpenter. Y'all look at the statement of facts in my case. Y'all gonna see that the police, the state was trying to track down eyewitnesses. One of the names is Jamonte Carpenter.
However, for Tay, these documents would be more good news, as they would become available for free online, showing that he wasn't mentioned as a witness during trial. Around this time, Tay was also officially announcing that he was changing his artist name from Tay 600 to Tay Capone, with the last name of course being a tribute to his fallen friend L.A. Capone. In 2022, M-Thang would post to his Instagram story claiming that 600 members only distanced themselves from Tay in fear of what other members might think, and arguing that Tay never actually stated who did the shooting. Trigger and S-Dot are some of the other members who have seemingly stuck with Tay throughout most of this drama. In 2021, Trigger would comment on his relationship with Tay, saying that he was locked up during most of the drama and that he hadn't seen any paperwork about him, and that he didn't care what other people thought. And in 2023, Tay would post a photo of himself hanging out in 600's hood with Trigger. S-Dot, on the other hand, would reflect on his relationship with Tay in his recent No Jumper interview, saying how he can't turn his back on his brother and that they had fought but eventually come to an understanding.
You and Tay still tight?
Yeah, that's my brother.
I seen for a minute because like a lot of people in 600 had like turned their back on Tay, but you was one of the first ones I seen. I came together and did an interview.
Yeah, I can't turn my back on, buddy. That's my boy.
How y'all get back in tune? Like, what was that conversation like?
It was like a real brother conversation. We argued, sent some threats, but it was, that was my brother. But yeah, he was tweaking with me, I was tweaking with his this the first time we ain't talked in a long time, so like, yeah, it was a little heated, but we got past. That was my brother, we got new music and shit on the way.
During the annual celebration for D-Thang in 2023, Tay could be seen celebrating in the same video with numerous 600 members, such as S-Dot, Trigger, Domo, M-Thang, and Young Famous. Meanwhile, in the years following their sentences, footage has come out of Rondo and Cdai behind the prison walls. Cdai would even be interviewed through a jail phone, during which he claimed that he regrets doing things for the people that he did.
I regret that I did, I did for all the wrong.
And complaining that no one from 600 has put money on his books or paid his lawyer fees.
You know, it's making money off, you know, things that I put my blood, sweat, and tears for, you know, and for me to backbite down M-Thang roles, you know. I mean, you know, we fight for our life, you know.
That nigga about to get old in jail.
Cdai also shared that he went to trial with a public defender, while Lil Durk had seemingly paid for Rondo's lawyer fees, as Rondo was signed to Durk's label OTF at the time. Cdai was ultimately left with nothing and pretty much felt that Rondo threw him under the bus. Sadly, there seems to be little hope for either getting out before serving their full sentence, a sentence that they ultimately deserve for seems to be.
Damn. Cdai aging fast though. That middle picture of Rondo looked like a real jailhouse picture for me. Like a nigga who didn't do it time. Then he looked like he softened up a little bit on the third picture. But Cdai went from young to stress to boy, it's over with. That nigga got old quick.
Little hope for either getting out before serving their full sentence, a sentence that they ultimately deserve for playing a role in the senseless murder of an innocent man, all because he was honest and told them that he was from the area. Rondo and Cdai were dangerous individuals that shouldn't have been on the streets for the safety of the public. Judging by Cdai's internet activity, he was literally hellbent on killing people for fun on a regular basis.
I'm bored, I'm finna kill somebody.
Damn.
When you kill somebody, that shit feel like sex.
During this time,
Now
so
look where
despite
he
their
at now.
potential as
Ain't he
rappers,
stressed?
really, they were shooters first. They wound up facing the consequences that shooters face for the benefit of wider society. But I can understand why this is a hard pill to swallow when Rondo and
got
Cdai
more
were
years
seemingly
than
so
him.
close to rap stardom. Their sentencing for this murder put an end to their potential success in the music industry and represented a huge waste of potential. Rondo could be seen in his Zach TV interview anticipating his success in music and believing that he was headed to the top.
Yes, man. Trying to make it to the top. Flexing these. God, they.
Because after LA Capone was killed, Rondo was the next promising rap prospect in 600, but unfortunately, both artists would lose their careers to the streets in different but equally tragic ways. And today, the duo's biggest song, Play for Keeps, with 60 million views on YouTube, can easily be considered as a classic in the genre, which shows just what could have been. And when you look at the heights of Lil Durk's career and his OTF label that Rondo was a part of have reached in 2024, it's painful to imagine just how much Rondo threw away with this one bad decision. Rondo's solo music would also garner massive attention, and it's rare to find a video with less than 5 million views of his. Rondo had been making big moves in the industry and had even toured with the likes of Pusha T and Fabulous.
Finna start just collabing with all type of, like, real, like, there's already, like, at the top already. We're gonna see what's up, yeah? Cause I with a lot of already. We've been on tour, we Pusha T, Fabulous, all of them. We with a lot of that ain't.
Cdai also had promise in the music industry, even featuring on a song with Rondo that now has almost 10 million views, as well as having a close relationship with drill legend Chief Keef. But now, prison photos of the pair aging will be all that the public gets to see. But unfortunately for 600, Rondo and Cdai weren't the only famous members who wound up facing a lifetime in prison. As only 10 days before the murder of Javon Boyd, another prominent 600 member would allegedly commit a high-profile murder that would ultimately see them taken off the streets for good as well.
Damn. That's wild.
We get wild on any block.
Cause I was trying to figure out what had put them, and I didn't even know they was together. Cause I remember seeing all the footages of Rondo going to jail and shit. So I'm like, oh, he probably killed somebody, but I never like knew the story behind like what happened, who got killed. I thought it was just because he kept going in and out of jail, doing stupid shit. But that one murder changed every fucking thing, and they probably done killed many people before that.
What?
That one murder took it. Huh?
That innocent person, they said that you was innocent. I wonder how true that is.
Damn, they should have stayed where the fuck they was at. Why did y'all come back to the scene?
Cdai and Rondo never died. It's Tay 600 turning up at the party.
Let's get it. Smoking on to the light. Nigga, I ain't taking no holes in the street.
That's the same party?
That's the party.
Yeah, because he got the shit on. Look, that one night, y'all went from turning up to turning up. Yeah, that's what house parties was fun.
We upstairs, man. We gotta get in because we upstairs. You know how folks, right? We killing people, man. I ain't had no rest since I've been out. We been drilling hard. Yeah, watch the news.
OG, Bobby, Justin.
I remember when this beat came out. This was the original song for it? Oh, that's the outfit that he had on for the video shoot. This the video shoot.
About to go up crazy. Ain't traffic going out the fucking lazy. I ain't tryna hear shit, bitches. Fuck you, pay me. If I see a hot fuck, fuck it, but I'm on the baby. Call me number 9 or Rondo, baby. I be going crazy, bitches sound favorite. I will pull up on a nigga, up a couple Glocks with a couple 30 shots, make a nigga diddy bop. So let's turn up. I'm cool, never see they ain't smoke a blunt. If you try to try me, you stink a skunk. Bitch, I'm on the money hunt. Because I need a lot of stuff. Word on the streets, but I don't knuckle up. Catch a nigga lacking. And I'ma fuck it up. Eat. Let's go crazy, nigga. Word on the streets, we up next. Matter of fact, we up now. Squad. Cdai, let's gas. Smoking on the tuka like it's hookah. 50 in the tank plus a cooler.
Let that man sleep.
Shit.
I'm getting tired of hearing that part.
Nigga, I'm just looking for the moolah. Where I'm from, 1600 always up in Ruger. Pop a lot of pills, got a nigga feeling suited. I don't gotta ask, you don't want what, do you? Word on the street, I'm a suspect. Homicide left a little nigga mama upset. Rondo got a rocket, don't make us have to up there. Bitch, we at the top and feel good to be up there. Nigga in the city show me love when I'm up there. Young rich nigga hoes love when I'm up there. Red tape farewell, 22 dumped there. Everybody kill a nigga, ain't no fucking love here. 6 soul. Trigger on do something, Bill, let me roll. Stop sneak this and pussy nigga, let us know. Drop a 6 soul, little boo, will take a soul. Coolin' in the hole, everybody got a pole. Ike on the way, everybody gotta go. Still fucking up, everybody gotta blow. 6 soul, 6 soul, 6 soul. Let's get it, let's get it. Hey, see they turn up. Turn up on these fuck niggas. Let's get it. Run up on his ass with the mop stick. Ain't playing with his ass, I'ma drop him quick. Then bail out, can't tell now. Shoot a nigga, look, now they wanna tell now. Bullets float like boats, make him sail out. Fucking on the stop, make it yell out. When she's done, suck a dick, she gotta bail out.
Cdai was just trigger happy.
Yeah, we in this bitch.
He been wanting to shoot somebody.
Run up on a nigga ass, start to send me quick. Better dip, better get low, better get low. 40 on my hip, I'ma let that bitch blow, let it blow. Boom. Shout out MBK. Them the moles, them my bros with him every day. Maintain my bro, he gon' let it spray. Can't forget fast style round with the K. Lay your ass down, back in the van, back to the town. Style on his nose, treat him like a clown. Smoking on loud.
This damn video hurt my eye. Shit, I'm glad it's over with. That motherfucker was hurting my damn vision.
See, they low-key be sliding.
If you really look, now that I think about it, he mad, right? I guess he really got upset. Of course, he locked up and, you know, niggas ain't whoopty whatever. But if you really think about it, you set your own self up, for real, for real. One, you was trigger happy, shot the nigga. Two, your second time dropping your fucking phone on the scene. Three, you went back to try to get the phone. You fucked yourself back up.
That was the dumbest part.
Ew.
That was the dumbest part.
That meant that happened during that hot shit.
That was the dumbest part, dude.
You fucked your own self up. So that was like, you can't even get mad at RondoNumbaNine. He might have to change his number. Then he gotta be Rondo 38.
I'm going to the Chief Keef.
You heard me? Mm-hmm. You get it though? Mm-hmm. I say Rondo might need to change his name from RondoNumbaNine to Rondo 38.
Oh nah. He had 39.
Rondo 39. Yeah, he got to take the number out and put 30. Rondo 39.
That's tough.
That is tough. How many years he already did? He still got a long way to go. Good. They were the same two.
They was murder twins. See the legend of 22 shots. This who you was asking about. I didn't about to tell us.
Yeah, we gotta hear about him. Because he was fucking up. Yeah, they made this shit like a movie. Whoever put this together.
What up, family? It's your boy SNTV back at y'all with another CHIRAQ Street Legends. And this episode is going to be about none other than Cdai, a.k.a. 22 Shots.
I used to hate those pictures.
Cdai comes from that 600 set. They BDs, located from 59th and Calumet to 60th and King Drive. They clicked up with O-Block, Front Street, THF, Blackgate, and a few more BD sets. They beef with Gyro City, STL, Taekwon World, and their main beef is with 051 Young Money and MOB. Cdai, like his older brother Edai, originally came from the 6217 buildings that were located on 62nd and Calumet, also known as the Randolph Towers.
I think
a lot of well-known BDs are from the towers as well. Cdai would eventually become a psychopath, but it wasn't always like that. At one point, he was infatuated with sports and had a love for basketball, but it wasn't long before the streets started to outweigh the sports, and Cdai would start going to jail.
Damn.
600 was created by Lil Boo and D-Thang, who were super savages. It's been said that the only way that you could be a real 600 member was to catch a body. And when it came to catching bodies, Cdai was at the forefront.
Like, before I even shot a gun, bro, I went on 10 hits with D-Thang. And Lil Boo and Cdai, I'm talking about 10. I'm talking about, I'm sitting behind the garbage, half a block away, voting, yeah, we right here, woo-woo, me and Nine and Rose and Mac, we voting them half a block away. Change the shit, you feel me? And we just like...
On November 10th, 2011, it was said that Cdai got out on FYB Tutu after catching him in the alley smoking, and it was said by Cdai at least a dozen times. Not only did Cdai have an addiction for killing, but he had a Twitter addiction as well. Cdai would get on Twitter and tell on himself Monday through Saturday and twice on Sunday.
That shit hurt my eye.
Teen found dead in Southside Alley. A 17-year-old boy was found dead in an alley after being shot in the head and torso Thursday night in the West Woodlawn neighborhood. Police found him in alley the 6200 block of South Eberhard Avenue at about 10 p.m., according to a Chicago police release. Chicago Police News Affairs officer John Mirabelli said a man walking his dog found the boy and called police. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office identified him Carlton Archer, of the 6500 block of South Rhodes Avenue.
It has also been said that after killing him, allegedly, Cdai went and shot up his funeral. Cdai prided himself on being one of the top shooters from 600. With that title came respect and fear. It was evident that Cdai was intoxicated by the power that came with the streets. Cdai got to the point where for him, killing felt like sex.
Look where it's at. Look where he at. He bitching about it.
051 Fathead was another notable body that Cdai allegedly caught and often bragged about it. It was said that the murder of Fats is the main reason L.A. Capone died. On June 22nd, 2012, Fats was walking to the store with one of his girl cousins. What she ended up having to witness was horrific. The witness stated that she left her house with Antonio Davis and they were heading to the corner store at 69th and Emerald. She stated as they were walking westbound on 70th Street, she saw a newer model light gray van. Both the driver and passenger were staring at them. The van then proceeded northbound on Union towards 69th Street. The witness then stated as they continued to walk westbound on 70th Street, a male black with a hooded sweatshirt who was recognized as the passenger to the gray van shot Antonio Davis once from behind. She stated that she ran, and as she looked back, she saw Antonio Davis was on the ground, and the shooter stood over his body and shot him several more times. When the crime lab arrived on the scene and removed the aforementioned cover that was over the victim's body, the victim was observed laying on his right side with his head facing east and his feet pointed west. RDs observed 6 .40 caliber cartridge casings scattered around Davis as well. 2 of the cases were located near the area of the victim's head. 3 other cases were essentially located around the lower half of the victim's body. Other cases were located on top of the north curb near the victim's head. RDs also observed a fire bullet near the victim's head and another fire bullet and some blood that was near the victim's face. Furthermore, RDs observed another fire bullet that was near the crotch area of the victim. RDs observed gunshot wounds to the lower back,
14,
left side, and upper right chest of the victim. RDs also discovered a gunshot wound to the right side of his head, with an exit wound on the left rear of his head, the back of the left hand, right wrist, and right upper thigh. After the murder of 051 Fats, the war between 600 and 051 would get way worse, because not only did they kill Fats, who was a well-loved young member of 051, but it was the way that they did him. After they shot him from the car, they walked over him and stood over him and shot him in his face a couple more times. They also tried to shoot him in his scrotum area. You could tell because of the fire marks that were left in the concrete by his head and by his genital area. So it seemed like that whoever did this, it was personal. Cdai allegedly left his phone in the getaway van on the 051 Fats hit, not to mention...
Look at a clown. That's why his ass where he at. He a dummy.
Yo, bruh. Why he leaving his phone, bruh? Yo, he can't wait to go to the crib and tweet. He got a tweet right now.
Yeah, he probably got to the house and be like, fuck, I left my phone. I can't even do my first tweet.
As well.
Who is this? The driver of the van? Oh, it's a Dodge Caravan?
You supposed to be reading this?
That's too much to read.
I ain't reading all that.
So is he the driver?
Cdai would end up being picked up and charged, but let go because according to CPD, they didn't have enough evidence.
Wow, COA for when I killed Fathead. What the hell? That nigga, wow.
Cdai was simply one of the most reckless members of one of the most reckless cliques that Chicago has ever seen. When Tricks got killed, Cdai didn't even acknowledge him because he didn't have a body. On the morning of, because he didn't have a body. On the morning of February 22nd, 2014, Cdai's life would change forever. On the night of February 21st, 2014, defendants attended a party at 39th Street and Wentworth Avenue in the Wentworth Gardens housing project. Massey wore a tiger striped jogging suit and Ely wore a Burberry shirt and white pants. Also attended the party were Caprice Johns. Ely wore a Burberry shirt and white pants. Also attended the party were Caprice Johns, Jasmine Brown, Tremonte Carpenter, Takia Herbert, and Jerome Anderson. Defendants left the party with Herbert and Herbert's van. After they left, Johns, who remained at the party, got into an argument with a group of women known as Pretty in Pink because Johns disliked the song that was being played. As they argued, someone fired a gun into the air multiple times. Johns did not see who fired the shots.
The stupid thing was, no one got hurt, no one got killed, he just fired in the air. So y'all came back to do all that extra stupid shit and kill somebody just to be in jail. For nothing. Nobody got killed. They just fired shots in the air. So y'all killed somebody for nothing and now y'all doing 38, 39 life.
She guessed that the shooter wanted to stop the argument because it was too loud. The gunshots did not hit anyone. After the altercation, Johns left the party with Brown, Carpenter, and Anderson. They left in Johns' car with Anderson driving. Carpenter made a phone call to either Massey or Ely, who were still with Herbert in her van, and told them about the altercation at the party. Carpenter put the cell on speakerphone and Brown could hear Ely's voice, which she recognized on the other end. Anderson drove to Wendy's where they met up with the red car on the other end. Speakerphone and Brown could hear Ely's voice, which she recognized on the other end. Anderson drove to Wendy's where they met up with the red car in Herbert's van. Ely and Massey exited the van and got into the red car, along with a man named D. Rose. A fourth man, unidentified at trial, was the driver. The three vehicles drove back toward Wentworth Gardens in a convoy. First the red car, then Herbert's van, then John's car. According to Johns, they intended to see who shot at them and deal with the matter. Meanwhile, Latoya Adams was visiting her mother in Wentworth Gardens around 3 a.m. on the morning of February 2nd. She called for a taxi to go to a friend's house. Boyd, who was driving the car that contained no outside indication that it was a vehicle for hire, was dispatched to the car. As the three-vehicle convoy approached 38th Street and Princeton Avenue, they passed Boyd sitting in his parked car, waiting to pick up Adams. The three vehicles also made a U-turn and came to a stop. Massey, Ely, and D. Rose exited the red car and approached Boyd's car from the passenger side. Both Herbert and Johns witnessed the shooting.
Oh my God.
Herbert saw Massey and Ely open Boyd's passenger side door and then saw Massey firing a gun into the car. She heard 4 or 5 gunshots, after which Massey and Ely returned to the red car and drove away. According to Johns, Massey and Ely spoke to Boyd, and then Johns saw a light flash from the gun and Boyd jumping, as if he was getting shot. At trial, Johns said she did not see the actual gun, but in a prior statement to detectives, Johns identified Ely as the shooter. After the shooting, D. Rose ran back to Johns' car and got inside, saying, "Shit, and he's dead." Massey and Ely ran back to one of the other vehicles, and all three vehicles drove away. As they left, Johns could see Boyd slumped over in his car. The shooting was captured on surveillance cameras belonging to the Chicago Housing Authority, which owns the Wentworth Gardens housing project. The footage was played for the jury. In the videos, 3 vehicles drove past Boyd's vehicle and then drove back the other way. The convoy leader, a red car, stopped next to Boyd's vehicle and 2 men got out. One wearing a striped tracksuit, Massey, and the other wearing a brown shirt and white pants, Ely. They approached Boyd's car from the front passenger side and appeared to be talking to him. Boyd's car started backing up, but hit a vehicle parked a couple of feet behind him. At this point, D-Rose got out of the red car and ran back toward John's car. There was a bright flash of light near Ely's hand. Boyd's car surged forward and hit another parked car. Massey and Ely ran forward to look at the front passenger window. Ely returned to the red car.
Damn.
Massey followed him a few moments later, and the 3 vehicles drove away.
So he got locked
Since the
up
death
too.
of Javon Boyd, it's been bad luck for 600. Rondo and Cdai both received nearly 40 years. Tay 600 was accused of snitching. Cdai got killed, and everybody else is just basically stuck in a limbo. And I think that
So Cdai got killed while his
from
brother
the story
Cdai
of
was locked
Cdai
up.
is this: every second of every minute and every hour is vital. You must be careful about what you choose to spend your time on. These are the things that consume us. Cdai went from a good kid to going to jail to gang banging, and before he knew it, he was catching bodies out of boredom. Just like you have people that sell drugs, not necessarily for the money, but because they love the adrenaline rush that it gives them. Time is life, so don't waste it. Try to always be productive and always
this nigga
think
right
before
here?
you act. One bad decision can easily land you in a cell or in hell. This has been another episode of CHIRAQ Street Legends. It's your boy, SNTV. I'm out.
Sucker free, featuring Cdai.
Material witness on an aggravated battery with a handgun and they believe in retaliation to her testimony.
Respect that.
See that? Hold on, son.
Shot-town, what's up?
Salisbury, baby.
Midwest, what's up?
They like, so where you been, sucker? I've been buying guns for this shit.
I don't like this song.
You know what here?
No, you can let it play. It's for 4 minutes and 54 seconds. Hold on. Let it slide, because I don't want to fuck up the vid. But what? Damn, they used to rap for that long? Huh?
I don't know what Cdai part.
Damn. It's...
See that? Hold on, son. Salisbury, baby. You know I'm G-Baby. They like, so where you been, sucker? I've been buying guns for this shit, yeah, sucker. I'ma up this motherfucker like get back, sucker. I'ma shoot your fucking ass, you ain't no damn cat, sucker. You ain't no damn cat, but shooters pull up on your
The mixing is terrible.
Them 4-5 shells gon' damage,
Yeah, we laughing. Fast forward it. Let's find Cdai. He ain't saying shit. Bring it back a little. Cdai actually saying anything. He don't be rapping.
How you do that Cdai?
Who else? He don't even feature on here. That's him. What the fuck is this? Just skip the whole thing altogether. Because they... Wait, hold on. Don't... Fast forward and make sure we don't miss nothing. Keep going. I'm saying. That's the whole song? Just slide the slider. So you can see if there's anything that's from. Just keep on. See how you can see what it is? Oh yeah, nah. Go ahead. Keep going. If anybody in this video wanna go see it, go see it here all the time.
Dismiss me, that else is false shit. And front street, you really do a low shit.
I've come to a realization. My only competition is when
DJ
niggas just
drama.
don't use a DJ.
Shout out to my competition.
Lil J, FBG Duck, Rico Reckless, and Steam this.
Cause if it comes to these streets,
This shit real, my block we win.
Oh, okay.
Else. Let's get shit real, my block we in.
I guess it's me and no DJ.
I tweet the shit, the label say don't leak the shit. Lawyer money got the shit, I catch a op, I beat the shit. I tweet the shit, the label say don't leak the shit. Lawyer money got the shit, I catch a op, I beat the shit. Kessler J, I heat his face, my little niggas of me.
This how Durkee can rap.
He can't duck this clip. Wiggle world cake cause they fuck with
Compared to
them.
now.
Let's get it. 30 shots, we the murder block. Got chopper shells for a lot of ops. Off parole, I'm on a lot of shots. No Fredo, bitch, I'm in a lot of cuts. I do hits when I'm sober. Tryna drop 30 in motor. Terrorist money to roll up.
You hit a cheap key point right there.
Niggas working side with the police. Can't catch a nigga, then we on this OG. Bitch, I've been a nigga since 03. Free fire, free law, real 4D.
Hell,
Nigga since 03, man.
L's.
OTF 300.
L's.
Tell a fuck nigga get money. Let's shout out to my competition. These shots to my opposition. This shit real, my block we win. This shit real, my block we in it.
Gangsta Brazil,
These shots to my ops. 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 These shots to my ops.
Shout out to my competition.
Shout out to my competition.
I mean, there's no competition.
There's no competition.
Look up, man, I know we winning.
Look up, man, I know we winning.
Haters mad cause they ain't in
They
it.
gonna say that, man.
So 30s, we love sing. Fuck all these hoes, man, we hit plenty. Talk about money cause I done made plenty. Now shout out to my
Damn.
competition. You say you won't know, you better have that with you. Shooters on deck that'll kill that issue. Acting like you with that's as quick as where to get you. 100 on the belt like it ain't a big issue. The same niggas in the same hood. Got real niggas with me, plus we official. And we shooting shit and we ain't trying to miss you. It's a mess to the house, miss me with the distance. Fuck this bitch, now he sneak this and pull up with the windows tinted. So the haters really can't see who winning. 300.
Shout out to my competition. These shots to my opposition. This shit real, my block we winning. This shit real, my block we in it. These shots to my ops. 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 These shots to my ops.
Shout out to all my competition. L's.
No competition. OTF this. This the response by Lil Mark.
Oh shit. They came back fast.
Cdai.
I know it's not the same beat.
Gang.
It better not be. Because I'm tired of the assholes trying to return back with the same beat.
Nigga, we the opposition.
It is the same beat. No? Hold on, I got it. Who the fuck is Little Mark? Where he came from? Like, where the fuck he came from?
Mosky pack, tasty pack, blue rock black. Wake up, ate a bowl of chips while I was blown on big thing. Riding down the steep dry. Think I'm finna OD. Took a trip to LA. Wakita, man, she throw me. Mask up, nigga, gun go click clack. Fuck P Street, I ain't with a chit chat.
Why do I feel like it's the same beat?
Alright. That L shit. Uh-huh. What up? Out here. I'm on fast, boy. I been out here. I stay out here, boy.
To the money, yeah, but Sullivan. Yeah, with the shit, boy, you irrelevant. Told shit that'll knock down an elephant. Smoke dope, sip lean, that's my medicine. Been drilling 10 years, I'm a veteran. Mushy rappers, yeah, know I'm better than. I'm a loose screw, fuck a savage. I get a nigga, yeah, whack for the cabbage. Say 50 friends ain't got no.
I want to know where this nigga came from.
go. Ball on hard, nigga, like a playoff. Act hard, but I know this so. Snitching ass niggas, I ain't cuffing that close. But this hot boy, ass Rondo. Shots fired, nigga, no combo. Do him like Jay did Alonzo. Hit 4 niggas, that'll be a combo. Rest in peace, my brother, Shondell. 300K, nigga, die L's. Heard a young nigga, yeah, out of jail.
No, he is. I'm gonna say that for sure. He just said, look, it didn't ring bell because we done did 6, 7 episodes and I ain't hear shit about no Lil Mark. But they must have did something to somebody that was his people's. And that's what made him kind of like came out of nowhere. I don't know. It's like he just... I ain't gonna lie, he's sliding though. Gang. Alright, Lil Mark. I'm glad you wasn't trash, because I definitely
King
was
Von's sister would announce from his Twitter
what
account
the
on
fuck?
February 11th, 2014 that he
Wait
would
a
be...
minute. Hold on. We just met Lil Mark, and now we saying goodbye. That was so fast. Don't let me find out that one song changed his whole life like that. Wow. You can play it.
Home from jail tomorrow, with footage of Von cutting off his ankle monitor and throwing up gang signs circulating online after his release. When he got back out, he would be back on the streets and involving himself in gang politics once again. His first tweet out was dissing the ops, of course. He would also openly wonder where T-Roy went, as apparently his partner in crime had ended up in jail himself during this time. Also upon his release, Von would also tweet at famous names in the Chicago drill scene like Boss Top, Lil Reese, Chief Keef, Cdai, RondoNumbaNine, and Capo. He would then go on to diss 2 people that he allegedly killed, Modell and CHIRAQ, but at least initially, it didn't appear that Von was able to commit any more acts of violence, because apparently, following his release, he would wind up on house arrest for a short period. But that didn't stop him from posting pictures of himself at home, dissing Tuka with a gun sticking out of his pocket. Pictures of Von with famous BD hitters like T-Roy and D-Rose would circulate around this time, with the likes of Chief Keef even reposting them as a sign of respect for the most feared local shooters, with Von also sharing pictures of his crew to Twitter openly, with the caption simply reading, gang members. Von would also tweet about it being a very scary year for the ops, even tweeting disrespectful collages featuring photographs of rivals who had been killed recently. Von didn't care one bit what he was posting on Twitter, and honestly, it didn't seem like the police cared either. Von tweeted openly that he will kill someone on St. Lawrence, promising to shoot ops in the face and kill them fast, dropping mocking tweets about people he had allegedly killed like Modell. He would pledge to drop even more bodies, even tweeting that he was shooting as soon as he got off house arrest, and tweeting that he just got a new gun and he wanted to do a drive-by with it. Now, on March the 25th, 2014, GD rapper Lil Mark, associated with a crew called 051, would drop a song called No Competition. This would be a remix of Black Disciple rappers Lil Durk and Lil Reese's 2013 song Competition. Lil Mark would essentially use Lil Durk's beat to diss him and his OTF crew from Lamron. But it wasn't just Durk that was getting dissed. Lil Mark would diss numerous people associated with the Black Disciples, including people from both O Block and an affiliated crew of BDs known as 600. Lil Mark's song would mock OD Perry and J Money and see him rapping openly that he is a Black Disciple killer, as well as proudly repping his affiliations to his gang set 051 Young Money. This song made Lil Mark a huge target for both O Block and 600. And around this period, King Von would frequently tweet that he was in traffic, riding around the city armed and looking for ops to kill. On March the 28th, 2014, Von would tweet that he was in traffic, tagging D-Rose, an infamous shooter from the O Block affiliated set 600, with D-Rose himself tweeting that the cops hate to see Von, T-Roy, and him all together. Von would tweet gunshot emojis around 10 AM on the 28th of March 2014, and only a few hours later, that very same day, around 1:30 p.m, it's believed that a large group of gang members were riding around in a silver minivan with Florida license plates, most likely a stolen car. Meanwhile, a 20-year-old Mark Campbell, aka Lil Mark, was at a bus stop on the 300 block of East 51st Street. It's believed that that minivan pulled up and a masked man jumped out, shooting Lil Mark in the head, with Mark ultimately being pronounced dead at the scene only minutes later at 1:41 p.m, and that minivan connected to the shooting being found in flames at 6:30 p.m. that very night. It's widely believed that D Rose was the shooter, with King Von being present for this murder. D Rose even posted a clip to social media of him and his friends returning to the scene of the crime and filming, where King Von can allegedly be heard in the background of the car.
Hey, it's a 251st!
Damn, body down.
I was not gonna see you come on, bro.
I'm not.
Tweaking, bro.
Body down. 51st. Gang.
D Rose would tweet, "Call 'em, never heard of 'em," with a laughing face just 36 minutes after the killing. King Von would tweet, just 42 minutes after the shooting, "Die why?" with a bunch of laughing faces, with this being a sign of disrespect to Lil Mark's gang 051 Young Money. That tweet was then followed by Von saying 051 better keep their head up, with a bunch of laughing emojis. Then he says he lives for this, F the ops. And just in case there was any doubt about King Von being present for that murder, he would also reply to somebody on Twitter discussing Lil Mark, saying outright he just saw the murder, with King Von going on to tweet at other O-Block affiliates that they would be celebrating that night. Von was speaking so recklessly on Twitter, his sister would even tell him to go in the house, with a defiant Von replying to her with gunshot and demon emojis, then tweeting that Lil Mark's death was getting him attention from women, even going as far to say that Lil Mark's pregnant girlfriend might have cheated on him, followed by another tweet a few days later where Von claimed that he leaves people dead at the bus stop just like Tuka, a tweet that's even more disrespectful when you learn that Lil Mark was actually Tuka's older brother. D Rose would also tweet the day after the murder,
"Damn, they both died the same way."
Learned that Lil Mark was actually Tuka's older brother. D Rose would also tweet the day after the murder, saying you ain't gotta ask who shot him, indicating that he was indeed the shooter of Lil Mark, as well as proudly saying that he was smoking on Marco. But Von and D Rose weren't the only ones celebrating the death of Lil Mark, because Lil Durk, the original subject of Lil Mark's diss song No Competition, released just 3 days before he was killed, would end up making a trip to the very bus stop where Mark was gunned down, with Durk telling his followers that this was a very special place.
Hey, this bus stop right here though, this is a real famous place, yeah? This is a real famous place, big. Hey, this bus stop, that's a real famous place, big. I ain't gonna lie.
Because of all of the attention from rappers about this incident, Lil Mark's death became news beyond the local Chicago papers, with this killing taking place during the heyday of DJ Academic's War in CHIRAQ series, where Academic would report satirically on the Chicago drill scene and the shocking crimes going on within it. King Von himself would even go on to rap about killing people at bus stops many years later, as well as on the song Exposing Me, where he says that he is smoking Lil Mark and Tuka. And Lil Durk would go on to do the same thing, rapping in the December 2014 track War with E-Day 600, also saying that he is smoking Lil Mark and Tuka. Now, it's never been definitively confirmed who killed Lil Mark, but it's widely believed that the two most likely hitters are D Rose or King Von. But whether or not King Von actually did it, he clearly got a lot of gratification from just witnessing this murder, further fueling this strange bloodlust that he was cultivating around this time. If he wasn't the one killing, then he would at least want a front row seat and an opportunity to tweet about it. However, it would be the next murder that would seemingly be Von's most proud moment in the streets, because he would end up finally catching somebody who he had wanted to get for years, leaving clues on Twitter all the way up to the killing. And then, in an insanely twisted turn, not only would Von get away with the murder, but he would go on to appear in a documentary interview about the victim without anybody even working out that the killer that they were looking for was sitting right in front of the camera. I hope you enjoyed that clip. If you did, hit that subscribe button.
Wow.
If you want to keep up with me,
that was good promo for they want us to go watch that other episode. If he said that last thing, so we could watch
it. If you did, hit that subscribe button. If you want to keep up.
Yeah. Lil Mark.
This shit just keep.
I didn't even know that was too good, brother.
Damn, so now that shit gonna hurt his mama twice. If that says something too.
Every person did.
We just watched it.
Every person dissed and we told him.
Oh.
Moski pack, Tasty pack, Blue Rock pack. Wake up, ate a bowl of chips while I was blown on D thing. Riding down the steep, think I'm finna OD. Took a trip to LA, Wakita, man, she throw me.
No wonder.
Most rappers, yeah, know I'm better than. I'm a loose school, fucking savage. I get a nigga, yeah, whack for the cabbage. Say 50 friends ain't got no money. That's like saying, nigga, I ain't got money. Mask up, young niggas on dummy, catch you in broad day, leave him like J Money. Shots fire, nigga, yeah, man, down. Feel this same, nigga, don't stick around. Get cold, nigga, don't make a sound. Niggas put up, yeah, when them bodies hit the ground. Niggas mad cause I'm finna take off. Ballin' hard, nigga, like to play off. Act hard, but I know this so. Snitching ass niggas, I ain't covering that clothes. But this hot boy, ass Rondo. Shots fire, nigga, no combo.
I heard that part. But why they keep putting Kita in there like she was in the middle of all that beat? Like she was.
You know, me and
She
my
died
nigga
a whole different way.
D-Rose and King Von disrespecting JoJo. King Von don't know JoJo. We don't know JoJo shit today. Stretch gang out.
King David.
We out here on the block.
I'm making this life.
Fuck JoJo. You know.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, little bitch.
Now, when you don't respect me, I'm gonna spank your ass. I don't give a fuck how rich you got. On the block, I'm your big brother. I will break your big ass down. And that's
This looks pretty and pink.
This is the song they made after Lil Mark died.
Go to war. Pussy, go to war.
This ain't no competition to me, I was calling it that. I got love for my block, bitch, I got love for my block. That's us fucking up on your thoughts, she said she love them big blocks. I won't stop 300 twice and that's the squad that I rock. This ain't no competition to me, I was calling it that. They talking that Twitter shit, well they can talk to my shooters. Said I'm a wannabe, do you wanna be in your future? I can call up my shooters and have them blow like a tuba. Put you to rest, you be laying next to JoJo and Tuka. I be posted on the 6, I got the tech with the cooler. Think you hot? Well this hot shit, definitely a cooler. Boy, you sent some shots, you gon' need you a mover. And the church, while your mama screaming now, hallelujah. Pussy nigga a rat, he belong in the sewer. And your bitch, she a thot. For the squad, she gon' do it. Talking like they want war, but when it's war, we a loser. Call up Turkey 300, y'all want a war, then let's do it.
Gang. Bun bun. That's how they be saying it. Else.
Boy, they say I started this shit. He say he smoking Tuka. I say pull a mark in that bitch. I just brought a new chopper. I got KI all on my shit.
Put a little mark in that
Districts,
bitch.
butter, honey, lemon,
Just
throw
KI
on.
too.
I got KI all on my shit. All the districts, butter, honey, lemon, all on my dick. I'm talking Briscoe, Gyro, SEO, your money in them. Scary sight, no Fredo, I'm talking about Vernie in them. You catch a Zico, except you catch them hollows again. Trying to catch me on that G pussy, just follow me then. Rondo and Cdai them on 600 we eat ain't them. Niggas hollering Fubu gang lane, we ain't beefing with them. I throw my sets up, pop a flat, I'm geeking again. P.O. cool as a fan, so I keep a FN. Squad.
This song is hard.
It is. The hook catchy.
Oh, they said this the hardest dirt verse ever.
Damn.
That was 9 years ago.
Oh. That was back then when he was trying to rap. You know, his music different. He got a lot of hard verses now.
So, how you feel about that episode?
Nah, that episode was fire. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I be getting like really excited to be doing this though, cause it's like, okay, what's about to happen next? Who's this? I like doing this. I like the Chicago history. I hope y'all like it too, cause I like it. I be feel like I'm
the
in
Chief
Chirac.
Keef Ward coming up next episode. Oh, that's what I was singing when this came on.
I feel like I'm part of Chirac, low key. Like I know these people. We got Take Capone. Used to be Take. Now I could really identify people, like identify people and who they are and what happened. You can't tell me shit after I'm done with this Chirac history. You can't tell me shit about Chicago. I'm saying, unless you from Chicago, you been around it, cool. But motherfuckers that outside looking in and think they know, you can't tell me shit. You better go look at our channel. Nigga, we been there.
Chirac history, man.
Yeah. I want y'all motherfuckers to subscribe to Foreign TVO. Don't give a fuck. Better subscribe, motherfucker. If not, security gonna get your ass. Pop, pop.